Hi everyone, my name is Lamar Mohamed Adel and today I'm going to share with you something super helpful. 12 math terms that every student should know. Math can seem tricky sometimes, but when we understand the words, it becomes way easier. So let's break them down one by one with meanings and examples that just make sense. Okay, first up is inequality. This word shows up when we compare numbers. We use signs like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. For example, if I say 5 and use the greater than sign and 3, that means 5 is greater than 3. Simple, right? Now, let's move to quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is just a fancy word for a shape with 4 sides and 4 angles. That includes squares, rectangles, trapezoids, and more. If it has 4 sides, it's in the club. Next, we've got 2 types of numbers, prime and composite. A prime number is a number that's greater than 1 and can only be divided evenly by 1 and itself. Like 7, the only numbers that divide 7 evenly are 1 and 7. That's why it's prime. But a composite number has more options. Take 8 for example. 8 can be divided by 1, 2, 4, and 8. So it's not prime, it's composite. Easy way to remember? Prime is picky, composite is more company. Now, let's talk about shapes. A vertex, and the plural is vertices, is where 2 lines or edges meet. Basically a corner. So if you look at a triangle, you'll see it has 3 vertices, 1 at each corner. Next is angle. An angle is made when 2 lines meet at a point. We measure angles in degrees, and the most famous one is a right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. That's like the corner of a piece of paper. Let's talk about measuring shapes. Perimeter is the distance around the shape. So, if you walk all the way around the square with sides of 4 cm, the total distance is 16 cm. That's the perimeter. Area, on the other hand, is about how much space is inside the shape. To find the area of a rectangle, you multiply length times width. So, if a rectangle is 3 cm wide and 5 cm long, the area is 15 square centimeters. Alright, now we're jumping into some math language. An equation is like a math sentence that tells you something is equal, and it always has an equal sign. For example, x plus 3 equals 7. Here, you can figure out what x is by solving the equation. A decimal is a number with a dot in it to show values less than 1. Like 0.75. That's not a full one, but it's almost there. Decimals are super helpful when working with money, measurements, and so much more. Now, let's talk about math you see in real life. Bar graphs use bars to show data. You might have seen one that shows your class's favorite fruits or which month had the most rain. They're easy to read and super useful for comparing information quickly. And lastly, we've got the order pair. This is a pair of numbers written like x and y, and it helps you find a point on a grid. For example, bracket 2, 3 bracket means you move 2 spaces to the right, x, and 3 spaces up, y. It's like giving directions to a treasure spot on a map. So that's it. These 12 math terms are simple when you really understand them, and they're all over the place in schoolwork, games, and even real life. Remember, math isn't just about numbers, it's about understanding. And once you get the words, you start to get the math. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.